Ezekiel Elliott, yes, that Zeke, the former Cowboys star that's now a free agent, is the perfect fit for the Bengals backfield, and they are one of three teams, according to Adam Schefter, that are finalists for Ezekiel Elliott's services. I'm going to explain why it's a perfect fit right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into CBT. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Shout out to Andrew Fox Miller, who, while pulling double duty off season, well, it doesn't wait. And when a running back like Ezekiel Elliott names three teams and the Bengals are one of three finalists for his services, you absolutely have to do a video to explain exactly why it makes sense for the Bengals to be interested in Ezekiel Elliott. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. And yeah, Adam Schefter reporting this. And for those Locked On Bengals listeners, you've heard me talk about Ezekiel Elliott. And I thought I had a little more time to do so. And I was going to on this platform for sure. And, well, we talked about tight end. And just when maybe we'd get the running back tomorrow again, well, he is down to three teams: the Jets, the Eagles, and the Bengals. Why does it make sense for Zeke? Why does it make sense for the Bengals? Well, the Bengals have a void at running back. And no, I'm not talking about Joe Mixon. I know we've spent a ton of time discussing Joe Mixon and $12.7 million and will they bring him back and all of those things. And quite frankly, I don't think there is a chance they bring him back at his current number. That said, this is not an anti-Joe Mixon or be mean to Joe Mixon video. This actually has nothing to do with Joe Mixon. The one thing Joe Mixon can't do at a high level is what? Pass block, which is why the Bengals wanted to keep Samaje Perine. They wanted to keep Samaje Perine around. They tried to keep him, and they went in and tried to sign him to a similar deal. Paul Dehner Jr. was all over this for the Athletic, a similar deal to what the Broncos offered. And Perine took the Broncos offer mostly for family reasons. Want to get back to the West Coast or the West time zone, closer to family, shorter flight, all of those things. Has a newborn, get it, understand it completely. Well, what does Ezekiel Elliott still do well? Ezekiel Elliott, at 27, going on 28 years old, isn't the runner he used to be. Isn't a guy that is going to put the fear in defenses like he used to, fear in opponents like he used to, which is why the Cowboys moved on. That and a huge cap number, of course. Funny how that happens to aging running backs. That said, he is a high-end pass blocker. He's a great pass blocker. The Bengals need that in their backfield. And that's something Joe Mixon can't provide. We know that. That's something that Travion Williams and Chris Evans, they're not going to bank on those two to provide it. They're not going to bank on a rookie to do it. So look around. Veteran running back wise, Ezekiel Elliott is still elite at that trait. That's why he was still getting time for the Cowboys last year. He was still on the field regularly. And honestly, he didn't have a bad year. He wasn't the guy that you remember that was catching 95 passes or anything, but he had 17 receptions for 92 yards. Also ran for 876 yards, 12 touchdowns. So you want a guy that can give you goal line carries, catch passes out of the backfield, and pass block at a high level. It's Ezekiel Elliott. And so this makes a ton of sense for the Bengals. He's not going to be the guy. He's going to be Samaje Perine. And when you look at it that way, I think it makes a ton of sense. It's also worth noting that Zeke tweeted that he wants his number 15 back, the number he wore at Ohio State. That could work in Cincinnati. That could certainly work in Cincinnati. I don't think that the Bengals have anyone wearing number 15 right now, unless I'm thinking off, and not thinking clearly. Let's make sure to let's see. There's no one. So I just wanted to make sure before I misspoke and you guys grilled me in the comments. So why Ezekiel Elliott to the Bengals? Why does it make sense? Well, one, if you want Joe Mixon to return next year, the Bengals need a proven pass blocking back. And if you want the Bengals to move on from Joe Mixon, the Bengals need a proven pass blocking back. So this isn't the Mixon versus Mixon civil war here, whether it's cut him or keep him or make him take a pay cut or don't. It has nothing to do with Joe Mixon. The one thing he can't do at a high level that we know is pass block. That's it. It's done. We know that. Okay, fine. Well, it's a pass-first team. They need a pass-blocking running back. Ezekiel Elliott fits the bill there. Makes a ton of sense. You have the Ohio State connection, too. If you want to go that route, you could certainly do that. I think it makes sense. We'll see if they get it done. But I've talked about it on Locked On Bengals, and I'm glad I'm able to bring you a little insight into it. And, of course, if they make any signings that are are big like this, like Ezekiel Elliott, yeah, it's a big name. We're going to talk about it here on CBT. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Make sure you check out our other video that dropped on Thursday about tight ends, because with the unfortunate diagnosis of Foster Moreau, there's not a lot available on the free agent market. So I discussed that position at length right here on CBT. So for Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien signing off for now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Thank you so much for watching.